Hello everyone, this is Jason with For Geek's Sakes, and today I have a really good video. I'm going to show those of you who live in a rural, remote area, whether it be your main home or vacation home, how to get good internet. Um, my story is I recently moved to a new home out in the country. Before I moved, I kind of pre-planned this thing because I know I love internet. I have to have my internet because that's part business, part pleasure. I just needed it. The internet that they could offer me was comparable to what I have. They said that they can provide me 20 megs. I know it's not great, but I live in a smaller city, and that's really good for where I am, and it works for me. You know, I'm not looking for 100 meg. Well, if I could get it, I definitely would take it. But to have 100 meg is not a deal breaker because I can't even get it if I did want it. So anyway, uh, so I called my DSL provider beforehand. It's like, I'm about to move. This is the address. What kind of speeds can you offer me? And they said, sure enough, they can give me the same speed there as I have here, right? So that was fine. All right. So when I get there, fast forward 4 months, I get there, get set up, looking to get the internet connected. The guy come out and said, well, um, I don't know what they promised you, but you can't get 20 megs. The best I could do is 4. Because again, I have DSL connection, so I live a pretty good distance from the central office. So he said the best he could give me is 3, maybe 4 megabyte. And I was just heartbroken because that's not what I was anticipating. I had so many plans to set up security cameras, remote, some IP security cameras, doing my home as a smart home, hooking up just all kinds of devices to my internet so I can talk to it from wherever I am. That was the plan. The whole time before I moved, that was my dream to get a home I wanted and have it set up the way I wanted. And the internet was a really big key. So that being said, I told them I would think about it. I didn't let them set it up because me paying, and another catch is I was paying like $44 for 20 meg, and I was gonna have to pay the same $44 for 4 meg. This didn't make any sense how they could charge roughly the same amount for such a big difference in connection speed, but they were, and they wasn't gonna come off of that. So I told them to hold off. I went and did some researches like I always do, got online, seeing what other people was doing, and I just went to a couple sites. Of course, I went to satellite. I went to check out what satellite could offer me a satellite internet connection. And here's HughesNet. I know there are other satellite providers of internet, but this is, I think, one of the more popular ones. I actually happened to see this on a sign outside, kind of on the street I live on, because that's basically all that can they. That's what most people think. That's your only option for a decent internet connection is satellite when you live in a remote area. So I went on there and looked at these prices. You know, you get 10 megs for $39 a month. You know, okay, it's better than 4. I was thinking. So let's see what this is about. So I did some more research, some more reading. And the thing is, if you are a Cisco voice guy like myself, uh, no, satellite is not gonna work. The latency is too great. I mean, I'm talking very, very, very long time, but to go from point A to point B and back. So that just wasn't gonna happen. A VoIP conversation would suffer extremely. No way you would have a successful VoIP call with this kind of latency on a satellite connection. That was my big deal breaker for this. But then I kept reading, and the thing is, with satellite, it's kind of like a cell phone data plan, to where they give you X amount of gig per month. So with this particular connect package in the middle, you getting 10 meg down. Okay, you get 60 gig to use every month, and it says including 10 gig anytime minutes. What? Meaning you can't use the full 60 any time of the day for your full month. You only get to use 10 minutes during the prime time, which is, I think, from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. You only can use 10 gig. And I think I'm being too gracious when I say that's the prime time. I think the prime time is actually a little smaller window, to where you can only use the other 50 after that. So I think at like 2 in the morning to 4 in the morning, you can use the other 50. So that whole gap, you got to work with 10 gigs until 2 in the morning and 4 in the morning. Like, you have to literally stay up at night, late at night, to use your 50 gigs, the majority of your data. You know, that is unreasonable. But this is what they can do, because when you using satellite, pretty much they know you've run out of options and you just want the internet bad and you willing to go through this crap to get it. That wasn't working for me. I did more and more research, found site after site that just wasn't gonna give me what I wanted. In some kind of way, I stumbled on eBay. I went to eBay and found these wonderful people that are selling their grandfathered in SIM card access. Now, some of these prices are outrageous. Some of them are really, really good. The guy that I brought mine from, I am paying a pretty good price for a pretty good speed in my area. So this is my solution to you guys. If you live in a remote rural area, to go on eBay and find some of these people that are selling the grandfathered in SIM cards. Some of them are even selling the device with it, the little MiFi's. Some of them will sell you the device and that. And basically what it is you pay them. They don't give you the rights to the SIM card. Basically you pay them via PayPal or some other source like Google Wallet every month as you would a ISP, an internet service provider. Instead of paying the internet service provider directly, you're paying these guys. And I know there is some risk, they could just take your money and poof, you're gone. But a lot of these folks, I mean, definitely like eBay, anything eBay, when you're buying from someone, look at their feedback, make sure they're legitimate, you can trust them. And again, you're paying with your credit card through PayPal, so if something like that happens, you can get your money back. So feel comfortable and safe from that standpoint. But I know it's a little kind of nervous at the beginning, but I've been working with the guy I purchased from for almost 5 months now, and it's been great experience. He sends me a reminder like a couple of days before the payment is due, and I send him the money, and the ball keeps rolling. I keep getting my internet. Again, and you want to pick out and what you can do, because as you can see here, guys, and real quick, only thing I searched in on eBay is unlimited data, and you'll pull up all these listings. Like I said, some of these prices are outrageous, but if you look at something like this one, where he's saying pretty much you're paying what is it? Well, this one, let's just say this one. So $130 a month, you're going to pay him for unlimited data. Okay, not bad, but it's still kind of high. Like I said, you got to kind of look at the people you're buying from, because you'll find different prices on here. I got lucky with mine. I'm not paying $100 a month. I'm not paying. I think I'm paying like $50 a month for my unlimited data from AT&T. You got to look at what provider offers the best cell phone signal in your area. I have a Verizon cell phone through my company. Verizon sucks, so I didn't go with them. But then my friend come over, had AT&T. They had great service, so that told me I needed to get an AT&T SIM card. So, and that's what I did. I went on eBay, purchased one of these SIM card, these grandfathered in SIM card. But then, that just gives you the Wi-Fi. If you use one of these little MiFi devices, that's just going to give you Wi-Fi access. And because they don't have any external antennas, it's not going to be great. It's going to be good, but it can be better with the proper device to give you external signal reception. So this, and combined with this guy, and I went on ahead and pulled up the site. It's a MoFi, because if you just have the little MiFi, you won't have a way of connecting things physically. This little guy right here, you basically have 2 antennas for your Wi-Fi inside the home, and 2 antennas for the cell phone towers. So you take the SIM card and actually plug it into the side of this thing, or maybe the back. You plug it into this, and instantly you have a home router that is pulling cell phone data. And I just wanted to show you guys how good it works. I have a speed test set up right here, and I'm just gonna hit test, and that's awesome. I mean, and it fluctuates. I've gotten, on days I've gotten up to 30 meg. It just depends greatly. And the cool thing is the upload speed is just as fast as the download speed. Look at that. You won't get that with normal DSL or cable internet connection. So I am very pleased with this. Again, like I said, it's not a perfect science, but I haven't had any issues with this yet. And this connection speed definitely works for me. The latency, as you see, is very low. and you can do any and everything that you need to do as far as doing your downloads, the Netflix, the Hulu, the VoIP, anything with this connection. I am very pleased with it. Again, the only caveat is on eBay, you kind of got to find someone that's gonna offer these grandfather in SIM cards at a good price. That'll be the only thing. That'll be the only gotcha with this scenario. Again, I haven't had any issue with my guy. If I knew, I actually asked him because I know I have some neighbors that I was telling them about, and they was asking me, can I get them a SIM card? And I went back to the guy I'm getting mine from, and he doesn't have any more. So I would definitely shout him out in this video if he did have some, but he unfortunately he doesn't. So you would kind of watch it and see who has the best one. Let's just look and see if we can find a pretty good one. Here's one for $100 a month. And let's keep in mind, guys, like I said, if you live in an area where you have buku internet connection, you know, you're going to be paying a lot less for somebody like myself that's in a rural area than. So, you know, $100 a month for an unlimited connection that is really fast is not a bad thing. So again, this is not for those of you who have the wonderful connection, you lucky devils. This is for people like myself that live out in a remote area that don't have the luxury of these type of connections. This is the next best thing, because let's face it. Again, if you look at HughesNet prices per month, that's not including taxes and equipment rental or any of that stuff. You know, so this, you can imagine if you went with this package, and again you're limited on the data per month, and with the price, you're wasting your money with this. If you went on eBay and found somebody that's selling that SIM card for $100, you pay them $100 a month, I promise you will be more happier with that than this. Okay, and that's just my opinion. That's really all I had. I'm gonna do another video showing you guys my setup and exactly what I got. This particular device, now these people are really great. You call this number, you tell them what SIM card you have, and they'll tell you the best device for your application, because these devices are set up for particular cell towers, whether it be AT&T and Verizon, because they run off of different bands. So call this number, speak with the gentleman, and he will definitely hook you up with the one specific to your carrier. Because when I first purchased one, or when I was about to purchase one, I was just gonna go for the most expensive one because it looked like it had more bands. But before I did, I called him. He said, "No, you don't need that one, because you know if you have an AT&T SIM card, these extra bands really apply to a Verizon or something like that." So they're not gonna try to cheat you and getting you to buy the most expensive one. They're gonna sell you the one that's most applicable for your situation, and that's a really good company. Again, I've had it 6 months, hadn't had any issues. I did have to reboot it one time, but that's it. It runs pretty cool. It's metal. It's a sturdy device, and again, it gives you 4 physical ports like most consumer routers would, and you got the Wi-Fi built in. It's really easy to set up. So I like it, and I'm gonna shoot to another video showing you this in person, just so you can have a look at it, because it's not a lot of information on the internet about this thing, but it is really good. And the one I got cost about $300, so just in case you were wondering. But again, when you go this route, if you just got one of those little MiFi devices, it's gonna give you wireless, but it's not gonna give you good wireless because it doesn't have any external antennas, and then you won't have any way to physically plug in your network connection. So that's why I went with this. Oh yeah, another awesome feature about this is it's very portable. This is a small device. It's not as large as your consumer routers, and you can travel with it. So if you have a second home, you don't have to worry about keeping internet on in both locations. You can just unplug this from the power outlet, go wherever you're going, whether it be vacation, your second home, or a friend's home, and plug it right in, and you're good to go. I mean, that is a killer deal in itself. You can't do that with any other home internet connection, but with this application, you can. Okay, since there's not a lot of information on these little MoFi devices, I figured I'll show you guys mine and just give you a little information on it. So it's not very big compared to your normal consumer router. It's very small. It fits in the palm of my hand, as you can see. It has 4 antennas total. 2 of them are for the Wi-Fi signal in your home, and the other 2 are for the LTE service from the cell phone companies. And what you do is get your SIM card that you purchased off of eBay, or you can use your home or your personal SIM card if you have one that works in your area and you're willing to take it in and out. But you just plug that SIM card in the side of this router, and instantly you have an internet connection. On the back of it, you have your yellow LANs, typical on a consumer router. It gives you pretty much, it takes your LTE service and gives you LAN connectivity. The blue port is for a backup internet connection in case your LTE goes down or something like that. This enclosure, it is made out of a metal enclosure, so it's real sturdy. I've only had to reset it one time in 4 months. It's pretty good. And again, I haven't had any problems with it. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm glad I purchased it for my setup, because without it, I wouldn't have any LAN connections, even though I don't have any connected right now. But it's good to have if I ever need it. And that's been it, guys. I hope you found this video enjoyable. Please like, comment, and subscribe. This is Jason for Geeks Out.